With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Tonight, it's on to Week 4 as we've got a good Thursday night matchup in store between the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. In the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Right to the air is Jackson. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards on the game's opening play.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. The Ravens at 1-2 through the first 3 weeks of the season. And they got off to the tough 0-2 start, but come off a very important first win of the season last time out.
And it's tough when you find yourself in an early season crossroads, but that's exactly where they were. At 0-2, they were thinking if we fall to 0-3, things can spin out of control. But now at 1-2, they shouldn't feel the need to press out there. They're now back in a good spot, find a way to win some games, and keep moving forward.
And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down. Throwing is Jackson. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. On the corner blitz that time, the sack goes to Denzel Ward. 4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is taken around the 12. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. To throw is Watson. This is the tight end, Njoku. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
Off of play action, it's Watson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball? Or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright?
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Watson off play action. Over the middle, Amari Cooper, it's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Watson hook it up with Cooper there for the Cleveland first. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Second down, here's Chubb again. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially as pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and they'll be left with second and a couple.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Yeah, the Browns are going to be set up with a first and goal. He couldn't quite reach the chalk, but they'll have it at the 1-yard line. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game.
Touchdown! Amari Cooper, his first touchdown on the year. And the Browns are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
That's taken in by Duvernay. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Play action. Now Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And Jackson throwing once more. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. Well, mistake there by the offense, Charles. They tried to pick on a Pro Bowl corner in coverage there, and not the smartest decision. He reminded him that he was a Pro Bowl corner with not only the pick, but the pick six.
And those guys who have that designation, sometimes they get a little bit bored in games because people try to avoid them. They absolutely love it when they get challenged, and it's a chance to remind everyone exactly why they were tabbed as one of the best in the league the prior season.
Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
And he'll manage only a couple here up to the 25. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
No, we changed it.
On third down, Jackson. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, obviously searching for their first touchdown this game, partner. And that quick 3 and out, that's not going to achieve that at all. Give victory to the secondary there. They brought out tight coverage on that third down snap.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Taken in at the 11. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
Getting in there for the tackle, Marcus Williams. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Watson. And that is taken in by Njoku. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
You ask tight ends about their favorite routes to run, and surprisingly, this will pop up as one of their staples because they run so many routes in the middle of the field. How about this one? Starts downfield, bends it to the corner, great touch on the football, and they turn that one into a big play.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 25-yard line.
Working with a 2nd and 4. Now Chubb running right. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. 40 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Now a first down throw, Watson. His throw incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. On 2nd and 10, Watson. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 23-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Nice call by the defense there on 3rd down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
York able to send this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps, and the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but well, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Yo.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Jackson. That's for Bateman, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. Well, we've seen a lot of mistakes here in this first half, and another there on the interception.
Yeah, they're certainly starting to pile up, aren't they? Because, let's face it, we expect a miscue here and there, but they're already down 3 scores and still giving the ball away. If they want to get back into this one, they've got to take care of the ball, because right now the way they're playing doesn't say a whole lot for their chances.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and that'll give them a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Watson now to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points no matter what. At worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. This throw taken in by Isaiah Likely. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. That is caught. Rashad Bateman. 4 seconds left, and there's the timeout. In field goal range and a chance to tack on 3 before intermission. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Isaiah Likely in the final seconds of the first half. And the Ravens are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Shot before the break. Watson. And going deep for Hill. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one. So now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game. And down the stretch, being able to be balanced. Either throw it or run it and try and win this ball game.
On third down, it's Nick Chubb. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 70 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Watson. Throw left side, caught by the tight end, Njoku. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. A give running right is Chubb. And he's got some space here. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
On 1st and 10, Watson. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
To throw again on 2nd down. Watson. They set up the screen to Chubb. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Yeah, the Browns are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. Chubb. Fighting, but he won't get too far. Maybe a yard, that's all, down to the 2. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Chubb again. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Browns take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. No run back here for Duvernay. Touchback out to the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
That's good for a Baltimore Ravens.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. From the gun, Jackson. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Jackson. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Looks like a 9-yard loss. And it also brings up 4th.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner. And I don't think with 3 scores down in the 3rd quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. Now Hill to return it. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he will maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And that's also all for this third quarter of play. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll wind up as a loss on the play. So now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. Throwing on 3rd down. Watson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Cooper. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. 94 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Back to throw, Watson. It's Hill, complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Watson's pass complete to Tyreek Hill. A 2-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
That's good for a Cleveland 1st down, an 11-yard pickup. Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
A gain of 8 there on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. He's got his receiver, Cooper. And the Browns are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
2nd and goal from the 1. He'll try again. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Browns are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead is now 24. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the...
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Browns are able to cover this one up. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Throwing again is Watson. That's out to Chubb, complete. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Watson off play action. To the right side, he's got Cooper. It's complete. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. That'll give him 8 that time. And it'll be 4th down. So now on comes the field goal unit. And wow, this is no ordinary try here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, you know, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. But probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the 4th quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Jackson. That's complete to his receiver, Bateman. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A gain there of 21 yards. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Browns are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. And that pretty much has been the storyline, Charles. This defense, they seem to be one step ahead from the start of the game until now.
And you identified it perfectly, and we can see the frustration that's settling in now. And it's probably been there for a long time, but now it's evident because you can see it in their faces, you can see it in their body language, maybe even a little bit in that play call that ended up maybe closing them out.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. And again, it's Chubb. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. To throw is Watson. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Kyle Hamilton picks it. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Well, partner, this defense now with multiple interceptions in this game, but this time they say turnabout is fair play because, remember, they had a pick six on the other side, and now they get a pick six of their own.
Yeah, they actually added to some of their nice play throughout this ball game. A good effort by them to secure another interception on this one. A better effort to take it all the way back for 6. And how about an exceptional effort to match their opposition's pick six from earlier in this game?
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Here's Schwartz bringing it out of the end zone. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder in the ball carrier, and down he goes.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. And for the visitors, it is going to be a happy flight home. It is always such a treat, Charles, in the NFL when you can go on the road and get a victory, and that's exactly what they accomplished here today.
Oh, the trip home so much sweeter, isn't it? All the noise they heard before, how tough it is to win on the road.